One of the biggest questions I get is, what is a compound account? Before I explain that, it's important to understand how compounding actually works. So here's the difference between saving and compounding. You've got a 25-year-old saving $250 a month, starting at age 25 and saving to age 65. Over that period of time, he'll save up or she'll save up $120,000. Okay, let's take a look at that same 25-year-old contributing $250 a month, but this time compounding their money at an interest rate of 7% per year. Starting at age 25, by the time they reach 35, their account would have grown to $42,000. By the time they reached 45, they would be at approximately $127,000. By the time they reach 55, they'd be over $293,000. And by the time they reach retirement at age 65, they'd have close to $620,000 in their retirement account with compounded interest of over $499,000. That's the major difference between compounding and saving. So what happens when you use a secure, leveraged compound account? Well, let's take a look at that same 25-year-old still contributing $250 a month and compounding an interest rate of 7% per year. You'll start out at age 25. By 35, you'll be at about $48,000. By 45, you'll have grown your account to about $172,000. By 55, you'll have grown to about $466,000. And by 65, you've now grown your account to over $1 million and had over $976,000 in compounded interest. And if you're following along, it's important to note that in each of these three cases, you've only contributed $120,000. In this case, you ended up with 120. In this case, you ended up with 619. And in this case, you ended up with over $1 million. Same $120,000, different output. It's the count that you use and how it grows that makes all the difference. So putting this all together and looking at it in terms of income, what does it all mean? How much income are you able to take off of each one of these three scenarios in those retirement years? Well, let's take a look. In the case of scenario number one, where you saved your money in a savings account and you grew it to $120,000, if we divide that by your 25 years of income, you'll be able to take $4,800 per year during those retirement years. In the case of scenario number two, where you grew your retirement account to $619,000, over those 25 years, you'd be able to take income in the form of $53,000 a year, but that would be taxable. And at the end of this 25-year period of time, your $619,000 would be depleted down to zero. And in the case of your third option, where you had $1 million retirement account, over the course of the 25 years, you'd be able to have $101,200, which would be tax-free, not touching the principal. Your $1 million would still be intact. In this scenario right here, your $619,000 was depleted, using it to give you the $53,000 of income. If you wanted to use the 4% rule and keep your money intact during your retirement, then you'd be able to take income of about $24,000 a year, taxable, and still have your $619,000 intact at the end of it. In all three scenarios, let's take a look at how much total payout you actually got. In scenario number one, your total payout was about $120,000 over the 20 years, because we just divided your 120 by 25 years. In scenario number two, taking the $53,000 a year for 25 years, you turned your 619 into about 1.3 million. And in scenario number three, you started with a $1.1 million account and you ended up getting a total payout over the 25 years of over $2.5 million in income. Same $120,000, but three drastically different outcomes. It's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make. And putting your money in the right type of compound account is going to make all the difference in your financial future. I hope this video was helpful. I'll be posting more videos like this on my YouTube channel that center around financial education and growing wealthy. So please subscribe to this channel. And if you'd like to open your own secure compound account, then go ahead and click the link below. I'd be happy to meet with you and get a retirement plan in place for your future. My name's Scott McLean. It's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make.